Hello, CAC. Thanks for tuning in. Good to be with you again this morning. Morning here. Who knows when you'll see this, but nice to be seen again. And this morning, I want to just introduce you to two books. Two books I mentioned in my message on Sunday morning. And I just want to start off by saying I recognize that not everybody is a reader. And so by this video, I don't want to guilt anybody. I don't want to shame anybody. You know, if you're not a reader, I just wanted to say that right off the top. But with each of these books, they're also available as an audio book. So if you're not a reader, I know there's lots of people that listen to books. And so you can get each of these and listen to them as well. Two books this morning. The first one that I want to mention is this book right here, How to Hear God, a simple guide for normal people. And this book is written by Pete Greig, G-R-E-I-G, and Pete is the founder of the 24/7 prayer movement that's been around for maybe 25 years. Some of you listen to the podcast, the daily podcast, not podcast, but well, maybe it is a podcast. But anyway, the daily Lectio 365. Well, Pete is behind Lectio 365. He's also a pastor in England, I think somewhere in the area of London, the big London metroplex. And Pete is just well respected throughout the world. He was just actually in Portland a few weeks ago, speaking at Bridgetown. But he's a great, never met him, but I really, really appreciate what he does. And what I want to do here is I just want to read you the chapter titles, just to give you a feel for what the book is about. So chapter 1 is Hearing God's Word in Jesus. Chapter 2, Hearing God's Word in the Bible. 3 is Hearing God's Word in prayer. 4 is Hearing God's Word in prophecy. 5 is Hearing God's whisper. 6, Hearing God's whisper in dreams and in the unconscious. And then 7 is Hearing God's whisper in community, creation, and culture. And then chapter 8 is the Word, the whisper, and the way. I can't recommend this book enough. And How to Hear God is actually, this is like a sequel to an earlier book called How to Pray, a simple guide for normal people. And so the two kind of go together. And so I'd recommend both of them, How to Pray, How to Hear God, a simple guide for normal people. So that's book number 1. And then book number 2 comes from John Mark Comer, and Live No Lies is Comer's latest book. Whoops. Live No Lies, Recognize and Resist the 3 Enemies That Sabotage Your Peace. And this book is about temptation. It's about spiritual warfare. And it has 3 main sections, and the sections are on the devil, the flesh, and the world. And those 3 are mentioned together in Ephesians chapter 4, verses 1 through 3, I believe. But those have always been seen by the church as sources and areas of temptation for us. The devil at work in our life, our own fleshly nature, fallen nature, and then the world that tries to press us into its mold. And Comer insightfully, biblically, theologically, psychologically writes about the devil, the flesh, and the world in a scintillating way. And when I finished the book, I immediately thought, I got to read this again, because there's so much there. And it's not an easy book to read because of the subject matter, but it's well worth your effort. And I hope you pick it up and read it sometime. So there you go. Pete Greig, How to Hear God from God. And then John Mark Comer, Live No Lies. And you might want to read one of these during Lent, or you might want to just say, okay, sometime this year when I can get to it, I'm going to read one or both of these books. Couple more things. This Saturday, midnight, the mask mandate for the state of Oregon is lifted, and that includes all indoor public places like churches, like Canby Alliance Church. And so starting this Sunday morning, masks are optional. If you still want to wear a mask, that's great. We would encourage you to do that. But masks are optional. We're going to provide masks at the door like we've done in the past. And so that's number one. And then number two is also Saturday night is we go to daylight savings time. And so we lose an hour of sleep this Saturday night. Oh, that is so sad. What a bummer, right? And but anyway, daylight savings time, mask mandate lifted this weekend, Saturday. And so thanks for tuning in, and hope to see all of you this Sunday, either in person or on the live stream. God bless. Have a great day. Bye-bye.